A Lancashire dialogue occasioned by a clergyman's preaching without notes. By John Byrom. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please contact LibriVox.org. A Lancashire dialogue occasioned by a clergyman's preaching without notes. James. Was you at church o' Sunday morning, John? John. Aye, James, I was. I wouldna but ha' gone, for near so much. What, were you no theer then? James. No, and I ha' no missed, I know no when. John. Why, you had een foul look on't. James. So I hear. It makes me ask you whether you were there. You're telling me that a person come and took his text by heart and preached without a book. John. He did, for sartain, and all frightened me, and more beside, but he soon let us see he wanted none. James. Why, could he do without? John. You're better mon be off for being bout. It gan me sich a notion, for my part, I think that true preaching is by heart. Such as we han, I do not mean to blame, but I conna call it, fairly, by that name. A book may do at whoam for larnin's sake, but in a pulpit, where a mon should speak, and look at th' congregation i' their face, he connot do't for pappers in a case. He takes from them what he mun say, and then just looks, as if he gan it again. It is i'th church, and one could hardly tell, but he were conning summat to himsel. Mony a good thing, dear, I ha' read o'er, but never knew what preaching was before. James. And pray ye, John, how dun ye know it now? John. Look this mon has tout it me somehow. James. A ready scholar. John. Scholar? Why, a dunce may see, belike, what's shown him all at once. James. It makes me think you're elevated so, a one that's gloppened that has seen a show. John. Would you'd seen, and heard as weel as I, and if I should say felt, I should no lie. What it was my good luck to hear and see, you'd have been gloppen too, as weel as me. James. Happen I meet, but con I understand onything on't, good John, at second hond? You hadn't this preaching secret at a hit. Con you remember how it was, a bit? John. Con you remember, comes into me head. You telling once of what your lawyer said. Again, owd Hunks, the justice of the peace, that would ha' ta'en away your feyther's lease. How you described him. What a mon o' thlows. What a fine tongue, and how he geet the cause. How those, that were not at the sizes too, couldna believe 'twan half o' what was true. James. Remember, aye, and shall do while I'm wick. How bravely he found out a knavish trick. He saved my feyther mony a starling pound, and but for him I hadna been off ground. That was a man worth hearing. If your mon could talk like him, I should be gloppen, John. But look a me, these lawyers are all tout to speak their nominees as soon as thowt. How dun you think would judge and jury look, if ony on 'em should go tak a book out of his pocket and so read away? They'd soon think he had no mitch to say. Our honest lawyer had my feyther's deed, but mon, he gan it th' clerk o' th' court to read, and then he spoke, and if yo had but seen, why, the judge himself could ne'er keep off his een. The jury gawped again, and weel they meet, for every word that he had said was reet. John. Weel, James, and if a mon should be as warm about his heaven as you about your fame, dunna you think he'd be as pleased to hear a person make his reet to owd it clear, and show the de'il to be as force a foe as that owd rogue the justice was to yo? James. Now, John, I see what you've been driving at, and I'm o' your opinion as to that. I should no grutch at taking a long walk to hear a clergyman that could but talk as that mon did, could sarch a thing to the bone, and in good yarnest mak the cause his own. I seldom miss a Sunday hearing those at preaching will enough as preaching goes. But I ha' thowt sometimes, however good, a sarmon meet be better if it would. That if it couldna make folks e'en to weep, it sartinly might keep 'em aw fro' sleep. Yet I ha' seen 'em nodding, times enow, not only childer, but church wardens too. Could yo' a foine preacher? Morning was too soon. I kept folks wakken, John, i'th afternoon. John: I wish he would ha' tried, and I dare say that morning might have answered for aw day. He must ha' ta'en a pratty dose, I think, 'at could ha' gen that afternoon a wink. Sich looking and sich listening one might read in every face. Ay, here's a mon indeed. Some meet ha' slept if he had comen again before he spoke. I'm sure they couldna then. James: They weren't, it's like, weyn't fond o' summat new. John: Nay, nay, that winna howd a sermon through. Or they that listened when he first begun kept listening more and more till he had done. Had he gone eend away, I gie me word, he had me fast by th' ears, I'd not ha' stirred. Now you mun think 'at he talked weel at least, and passing weel, 'at each body were pleased. They wouldna, likely, give him o' the votes, only because o' preaching without notes. James: Why, but according to my thinking, John, it gies a hugeous vantage to a mon to preach without book, if he con but do't, and he mun needs be better hard to boot. Our lawyer had known, and I oft can feel it was the reason why he spoke so weel. Yet, as you sen, that only winna do, for the mon again him prated like a foo. John: James, it's e'en heard upon a lawyer's tongue, they hoyn it out to o' the right or wrong. A different case to that o' Pearson's wide, they are, or should be, o' the same side. It makes mayhap our lawyers read you far, to plead without book, till our Pearsons are. James: It's like it does, for folks will larn to speak sanna be half for contradiction's sake, and specially if when their tale is towd, i' truth or lies, they mun be paid i' gowd. Pearsons are paid, and if they win, may pay the curates, John, to preach for 'em, or pray, and then they do not, when they main a rout, tongue it so much as fling the book about. Yet word o' mouth, if it be reet's no sin. Why conna Pearsons preach by't if they win? John: I know not. Custom's druven to extremes. This may be one at the hand getten, Jeems. Some famous fellies meet at first begin, and all the rest and followed 'em ere sin. When a bell wether leaps, but o'er astray, at that same pleck, all the rest mun jump away. James: Marry, I wish at Pearson's 1 i' 10 would but jump back into th' owd way again. Some han great books enow to fill a cart. Straunge, as they cannot lay a thing to hate, sich as they like 'em best, and ha' the power to dray it fro' within for 1 hour foor. How come this mon to do't? John: I conna tell. Do it he did, so easy to himsel'. And yet wi' so mich yarnestness and force of tongue and hand and look, and good discourse, o' smooth and clear, and every turn it took, still winding to it, like water in a brook, that ony man o' larning taking aim, be't a lark for him to ha' done the same. James: Larning? When preachers first come in, they sen, there were no money on 'em larned men, no gentry noather. John: Why, and they sen true, but in our days, I doubt it wunna do, to ha' those preach at comin' so meaty short, of first beginners so well fitted for't. Would but our gentlemen o' larning try to preach fro' th' heart, and lay the pappers by. We shouldna think warse on 'em for the kin, nor like 'em less, however larned they bin. Our folks i' church time would be more devout, and mind the business 'at they weren't about. And those good sermons, 'at most on 'em main, by all good folks would be much better ta'en. Witness this gentleman, a Sunday morn, the best that I e'er heard sin' I were born. But come, I'll say no more, you'st hear him first. I wish wi' all my heart he were the worst. James: Ay, you may wish, but will he preach again? How are you sure o' that? John. Nay, so they sen, you like to take your chance as weel as I. James. If ony comes, I'll tak it, John. Goodbye. End of a Lancashire dialogue occasioned by a clergyman's preaching without notes, by John Byrom. Read by Phil Benson. A dialogue between Sir John Jobson and Harry Homespun, occasioned by the march of the Highlanders into Lancashire in the year 1745. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Sir John.
Was ye not sadly frightened, honest Harry, to see those Highland fellows?
Harry. Not I, marry.
Sir John. No, how comes that?
Harry. Why, sir, I couldna see what they were in 'em that should frighten me. Sir John.
So many armed ruffians as came here, was there not cause enough for all to fear?
Harry. Oh, whoa, Sir John, it happen mit be so, with sich fine lordly gentlemen as you're, but we poor folk. Sir John.
Why, prithee, poor or rich, is it not much the same?
Harry. No, not so mich. We warken hard as 'tis, for meat and clothes, and cannot seem to be so feart, God knows.
Sir John. But, Harry, to see fire and sword advance, to have such enemies as Rome and France, should not this move alike both rich and poor, to drive impending ruin from their door?
Harry. As for the rich, Sir John, I conna tell, but for the poor, I'll answer for mysel. If fire should come, I ha' nowt for it to brun, no wark to find for either sword or gun. For France and Rome, my fearing is no greater. They lyin, I think, off t'other side o' th' water.
Sir John. You don't consider what may be the end of such strange indifference, my friend. Pray, whether you have more or less to lose, would you not guard your country from its foes?
Harry. My country, sir? I have, you understand, in all the country not 1 inch o' land. They that wouldn't fight, and Ammon's blood be spilt, may if they win, but why mun I be kilt?
Sir John. Your country, friend, is not the ground alone. There is the king that sits upon the throne. The Protestant succession lies at stake, that bloody-minded papists want to shake. Now you have some religion left, I hope, and would not tamely give it to the Pope.
Harry. He wouldna have it happen if I would. Thou mun be like me think his own as good. And true religion, sir, if I have ony, no mon i' the warld can take it from me, can he?
Sir John. If you but knew, friend Harry, what a scene of mischiefs happened in King James's reign. How, but for Orange's immortal prince, the Protestants had all been killed long since. If I should tell you.
Harry. Nay, we are, Sir John, known weel enough that you're a larned mon. So was my grandfeyther, and o'er his ale mony a time has towd another tale. And I dare say me grandfather towd true, for look o' me, th' owd felly was no foo, nor rebel noather.
Sir John. And what was he towd?
Harry. Why, more a deal than my brain pond could howd. It's like you known as how, sir, th' Olivarians cut off th' king's head. Sir John. Yes. Harry. And how th' Presbyterians turned out his son, and made a revolution.
Sir John. They did it, man, to save the Constitution. 'Twas churchmen too that brought King William in, as well as they.
Harry. Why, be they wha they win, one egg be said was near more like another, than those two mak' of folk weren't like to one t'other. They weren't at all times enemies to th' blood royal, and now wouldn't I it that none but own are loyal. How can that be, sir?
Sir John. Why, I'll tell thee how.
Harry. Nay, but you cannot.
Sir John. Well, but hear me now. Our kings are stewards.
Harry. Sir, you mean they weren't, for things you know and tan another turn. The Stuarts' race is...
Sir John. Thou takes me wrong.
Harry.
How mun I take a reet? Sir John. I say, so long as kings are our protectors. Harry. Look ye there. Howd Oliver again. Sir John. Nay, prithee hear, and keep thy nonsense in till I have done. Harry. Weel, weel, I say yours first then if I mun. Sir John. The people, Harry, when they all agree. Harry. Oh, sir. Sir John. Be quiet, choose them a trustee, and call him king. Now, if he break his trust, they have a right to turn him out, and must, unless they would be ruined. Dost thou think for one man's swimming all the rest should sink? Harry. You're loving a king, sir, waintly, sink or swim. No mon I find is to be drowned but him. This chosen king mit happen drown you first, then you mit sink him after, and you durst. If folks may tak what kings they han a mind, what fault wi' all these Scotchmen can you find? Sir John. Hang 'em all! Have they not a king already that keeps his contract with the people steady? Rebels! Harry. Why, aye, that's right, for they were beaten. They lost the fight, but how if they had getten? Would you ha' liked it, sir, if an Eelander had towed a sauce for th' goose were sauce for th' conder? Sir John. Thou art a sly tyke. I'll talk with thee no more. Harry. Why, if you pleasen then, sir, we'n give o'er, wishing that every mon have his reet. Fate as fate win, and so, Sir John, good neet. Sir John. Thou'lt look, I find, to thy own carcass still. Harry. Yoi, sir, as long as e'er I con I will. End of a dialogue between Sir John Johnson and Harry Homespun by John Byrom. Read by Phil Benson. A dialogue between the same about compelling a person to take the oath to the government by John Byrom. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Sir John. Why so grave, Harry? What's the matter, pray? What makes thee look so sorrowful to-day? Harry. Why, sir, I get so troubled in my mind at what yon folk han towd me wheer I dined. Sir John. Prithee, what's that? Harry. They towden me, Sir John, that you han sent a summons to a mon to tak an oath, a mighty long un too, and they all said it's more till he can do. Sir John. Do or not do? What business is't of thine? Harry. Business? Why, he's a neighbour, sir, o' mine, and you and Hard belike, our parson tell, that one mun love their neighbour as theirsel. Besides that he's a sarviceable felly, as ony at we han o'th business, welly. And then, an oath, you shanna hear come out o' that man's mouth, Sir John, the year about. And if he be i'th mind that he has been, you'd find it much ado to cram one in. Sir John. Harry, that matter we shall soon discuss. Trial of skill is now twixt him and us. We must and will subdue him if we can. He's a seditious, refractory man. Harry. Nay, if ye been forgiving out o' hand hard words, sir, 'at one cannot understand, I'll say no more, or else I'll ta'en a walk, that you and I mitten have a bit of talk. But happen, now you're not in th' humour. Sir John. Yes, talk what thou wilt. Harry. And you're no tack amiss? Sir John. No. Harry. Then I'll tell her, mester, what I think. Sir John. Sit thee down first. Wilt have a little drink? Harry. No, nor you nother. We'll be sober both, God willing, sir, and talk about this oath. Sir John. What dost thou know about it? Harry. Why, no mitch. That's true enough, thank God. I'm no so rich, but I can gex about it weel enough. Folk at Antanit sen it's weary tough. There's mony a one that wouldn't again a crown, with all his heart in here had let it down. Sir John. But it shall cost this fellow more than so, if he don't take it. That I'll let him know. Harry. Win ye, sir? Sir John. Yes, I will. Harry. And if you win, Sir John, you're guilty of a wicked sin. Sir John. Am I? How so? Harry. Why, dunnot you maintain that Mum may tak God's holy name in vain? Sir John. No, indeed, don't I. 'Tis what I abhor. Harry. Then pray ye now, what is this summons for? Is it not sent to make a mon so swear summat about king and hit reet hair, and are not you weel satisfied to boot, that he mun tak God's name i vain to do't? Sir John. That's his affair to look to, and not ours. We act according to the legal powers. If private conscience slight the public call, he must e'en take the consequence, that's all. Harry. Marry, in other conscience and good feek, to mich behalf, if consciences may speak. What mackan you to mak another mon to swear again his? What corn ye that, Sir John? Sir John. We cannot make him man unless he will. Harry. Sir, it comes to th' same mischief still, a warse if other. For if he fears God and winna swear, then you tan up the rod. Here's a commandment kept that God has spoken, and he mun pay for one of yours that's broken. I say again, that shift it how you win, Sir John, you're guilty of a wicked sin. Sir John. Harry, as Justice of the Peace I'm tied for public peace and safety to provide. So are my brethren. Now, with this intent, the law directs our summons to be sent. If disaffected persons will not give the constitution under which they live proper security, they must be made to feel the force of what they would evade. If we should suffer these non-juring knaves, we shall in time be papists all and slaves. Harry. Papists and slaves? Why, good Sir John, the Pope, the deil himself, can do no more, I hope, than tempt a mon to utter with his tongue, i' th' name o' God, what he believes is wrong. Mun we be papists if we dunnot make a mon belie his Maker for our sake? Mun we be slaves, except we forcen folk to come and put their necks into our yoke? Sir John. Thou dost not, Harry, understand the laws. Harry. Why, and there, sir, such desperate lung claws, that a mon's conscience, hid within his heart, must be scratched out on't by 'em. For my part, laws or no laws, I'm sure we shouldn't do, as we all wishen to be done unto. Sir John. Good faith, thou preachest tolerably well, but wouldst thou have thy neighbour to rebel, to make disturbances in church and state, and not be punished till it is too late? Magistrates, man, must have a care in time, and in the bud must nip the sprouting crime. Harry. Nip it i'th bud, and so it must be done. You thinken then by punishing too soon? Magistrates, sir, so hasty and so hard, main all th' rebellions that there are in th' ward. Let folk be quiet when they are so, sir, and nor church nor state will make a slur. But to be made to pay, or be forsworn, vexes 'em both, as sure as you are born. Why mun you mak me neighbour pay sich scores? His soul is his as weel as yours is yours. Sir John. The law, not I, obliges him to pay. Harry. Why, when you tak that law again him, eh? If you mun do't, whether you win or not, are you a papist or a slave or what? Tell me, if this foul play be not your own, what mun you pay for letting him alone? Sir John. I pay? No law obliges me to that. What is it, Harry, that thou wouldst be at? Harry. Why, sir, at this. When laws main rich ado, mony a wise mon is made into a foo, frightened o'th sudden, out of his reet sense. He'll sell his wits and whore to save his pence. But pray, what mon, with over your good thowt, would do his neighbour an ill turn for nowt, when he himsel gets ne'er a farthing bite, but shorn of hurting out of arrant spite? This is the wark, if you consider weel, not of a mon, Sir John, but of a deil. If one could tak a look i' that mon's breast, we shouldn't see him what they corn possessed. Sir John. Thou mak'st a devil of me. Very well. Harry. No, it's you that main one o' yoursel. I'd make a mon o' you, sir, if I could, a gradely mon that seeches to do good, and not to labber books and sarch a cause for hately doings in hard-savoured laws. Sir John. Thou sarches me, I'm sure. Where hast thou had this same book-searching information, lad? We have, 'tis true, been studying in what shape We best might catch thy neighbour in a scrape, but by thy talking we might spare the pains, and better business might employ our brains. Harry. Ay, marry meet it. Those that letten out their brains to mischief might as weel be bout. While they done so, it can be no great news that folk should ca' 'em summat worse than foos. Sir John. Harry, thou'rt got into a talking queue. Harry. Ye gi' me leaf, sir, do not ye? Sir John. I do. Now prithee, tell me then, and talk away. No mince the matter. What do people say? Harry. I'll tell her, sir. Our justices, they sen, they tan themselves to be sich loyal men, mak 'em more enemies to the king and crown, till only 20 men beside i'th town. They praise and mitch this government of ours, because it has no arbitrary powers. For trade, religion, liberties enjoyed, it sheds oath governments i'th ward beside. His own opinion, every mon may take, no persecution in't for conscience sake. Mony such wards they han as smooth as oil, and deeds as sharp as allegar o'th woil. They get into a corner by themselves, and there they done it i'th ward o' God, nowt else, but tan their books, their bacco, and their beer, and conjure up poor fellows to appear, and then the gostring, whatten ye ca' it, corum, mun huff and ding and carry o'er before 'em. Sir John. A fine description truly, and quite free. But, Harry, how did it appear to thee? Couldst thou not find, where thou hast been to dine, one word to say for an old friend of thine? Harry. Yoi, sir, I said as mich as e'er I could, but when to do I had to mak it good. This summons, sir, this summons, fie upon it. What argufied my tongue again your hunt? Whene'er they thruttened that into me dish, it stripped me dumb, how treated any fish. Had I gone on, I know, sir, what I know, they'd soon ha' said I were as bad as yo. You conna think, if I may be believed, you conna think, sir, how my heart was grieved. I'd fain o' you beloved, sir, in your turn, as all your ancestors before you wern, and I believe that none o' th' race before, be who they win, could e'er desarve it more. If those good qualities that God has gin ye might but appear without as they are in ye. But i' this one foul pleck, I need mun say, ye generate 'em fro 'em quite away. I hope ye tan it i' good part, Sir John. I mean to sarve ye. Sir John. Honest lad, go on. I think thou dost. Thee I shall sooner heed than 20 prating wiseacres. Proceed. Harry. Why then, Sir John, if I may be so bowed, goodwill when getten is as good as gowd. Your feyther left here a fine estate. He sout his neighbour's love, and not the hate. His principles wern of another mak' from those that yo han been advoiced to tak'. This great long oath he ne'er could understand. If yo been wiser, now you han his lond, better for you, and yet I conna skill how it should happen, but be that as 'twill. Yet for your feyther's sake, at's deed and gone, you shouldn't consider wi' yoursel, Sir John, whether it's hondsome for his son and heir to force like-minded men to come and swear. Mony han said that sin ye so behave, Sir John e'er tramples on his feyther's grave. If when thou'd Mester were alive himsel, the justices for fear he should rebel, had usened him as yo done other folk, your wheels had wanted money a prat he spoke. Had he been made again his own consent, a papish, sir, by Act o' Parliament, you wouldn't ha' called 'em by the proper name that did the thing, though now you done the same, thou mon's hard usage would ha' raised your blood. Sir John. So really, Harry, I believe it would. I should not quietly have sitten still, had any of 'em used my father ill. Harry. Why, sir, and conna you think at it then, and show some mercy now to other men? Suppose this mon, because he conna think just as you done, had no other meat nor drink, couldna, because at law's main sich a pows, work in his business and maintain his house? But all his children weren't to beg i'th street, wouldn't you think it sich a blessed seat? Wouldn't you say, at seeing rags and ruin, the deal was in me, what was I a-doing? You gan me leave to talk, sir.
Sir John. So I did, and must confess that I am fairly chid. Thy honest bluntness oft has made me smile, Harry, but I ne'er hid thee all the while. Now I believe that thou hast gained thy end, and I a better temper towards thy friend. Harry. Eh, sir, God send it. If your heart were open to loving thoughts, our neighbours would be gloppened. Before this justicing made sich a pother, how neighbourly we livened with one t'other. But now. Sir John. Well, Harry, thou hast said enough, I hope. I shan't hereafter be so rough, nor sharpen when they come within my sphere laws of themselves sufficiently severe. When thou shalt see him, tell thy friend from me, if he'll be quiet, quiet he shall be. Tell all thy neighbours that the thing is done. The father's memory shan't reproach the son. Though all his thoughts and mine were not the same, his worth and virtues shall direct my aim. And now I have confessed to thee, friend Harry. We'll call another cause if thou canst tarry. This thou hast richly merited to win. Here, who's in waiting? Bring a tankard in. Harry. Nay, sir, you mun excuse me if you pleasen. Your kindness here in hearkening to reason has made my heart dray as a keck, Sir John, weeter and leeter till good liquor come. I'll go my ways, sir, home before it's dark, and let our neighbours know of this day's work. I long to see 'em, feeling what I feel at present, sir. God bless ye, and farewell. End of a dialogue between the same about compelling a person to take the oaths to the government. By John Byrom. Read by Phil Benson. No lie. What it was my good luck to hear and see, you'd have been gloppen too, as weel as me. James. Happen I meet, but con I understand onything on't, good John, at second hond? You han this preaching secret at a hit. Con you remember how it was, a bit? John. Con you remember, comes into me head. You tellin once of what your lawyer said. Again, owd Hunks, the justice of the peace, that would ha' ta'en away your feyther's lease. How you described him. What a mon o' thlows. What a fine tongue. I hard read o'er, but never knew what preaching was before. James. And pray ye, John, how dun ye know it now? John. Look this mon has tout it me somehow. James. A ready scholar. John. Scholar? Why, a dunce may see, belike, what's shown him all at once. James. It makes me think you're alivated so, a one that's gloppened at has seen a show. John. Would you'd seen, and hard as weel as I, and if I should say felt, I should then. James. No, and I ha' no missed, I know no when. John. Why, you had een foul look on't. James. So I hear. It makes me ask ye whether you were there. They're telling me that a person come and took his text by heart, and preached without a book. John. He did, for sartain, and all freetened me, and more beside, but he soon let us see he wanted none. James. Why, could he do without? John. You're better mon be off for being bout. It gan me sich a notion, for my part, I think 'at true preaching is by heart. Such as we han, I do not mean to blame, but I conna call it, fairly, by that name. A book may do at whoam for larnin's sake, but in a pulpit, where a mon should speak, and look at th' congregation i' their face, he connot do't for pappers in a case. He tastes from them what he mun say, and then just looks, as if he gan it again. It is i'th church, and one could hardly tell, but he were conning summat to himsel. Money a good thing, dear. A Lancashire dialogue, occasioned by a clergyman's preaching without notes. By John Byrom. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please contact LibriVox.org. A Lancashire dialogue occasioned by a clergyman's preaching without notes. James. Was you at church o' Sunday morning, John? John. Aye, James, I was. I wouldna but ha' gone, for near so much. What were you no theer